I've only been doing this podcast for what, 2 or 3 months, but I don't have a lot of followers yet. A lot of people. I mean, it seems like it's picking up here and there. I post podcasts on Anchor, which spreads it out to 6 different podcast sites like Spotify and Google Podcasts. And there's people from all over the world. Actually, there's like 16 or 17 countries last I checked that are listening to the podcast version. I also put it on YouTube, and then sometimes I'll post the link to some of my videos, or I'll always post links on Twitter, like for everything on my Twitter feed. And then I've been posting. Sometimes I'll post a video link on some Facebook. Some of the channels on Facebook. Some of the groups, rather UFO groups on Facebook, and I've started to receive some comments here. My biggest fan right now is somebody named Belita Ukun. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he pretty much comments just about on everything. Just many of the videos that I post on YouTube, he'll post a comment on there, and he points out that he pointed out there were quite a few of the videos that I made where it seemed, some of the podcast videos where it seemed like I was really angry. I'm sure it comes off that way. I'm not really angry. I'm more or less frustrated, passionate about this. I mean, I get upset sometimes when I just see stuff that's just when I'm reading an article, and there's comments made by scientists that are just obviously they have no idea what they're talking about, and yet these people are scientists. These are people who spent numerous years in colleges and for them, and it's just so frustrating to see. Sometimes you just get upset when you see someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson just completely blow this off. Blow the subject off and say that there's absolutely no proof, and it's just so. Sometimes there are some podcasts where I was getting angry. I mean, might seem like that, but I was just more frustration. It's just and it's passion too. I want to see this. I've been studying this issue for so many years now, and it's just like, come on already. I'm also I'm a big Eagles fan. I love the Philadelphia Eagles, and it seemed like my whole life I'm watching it and watching this team play, and it felt like for a long time there that they weren't going to ever win a Super Bowl, and then finally, the 2017 season, well, the Super Bowl was played in 2018. They finally did it. It was like felt like a big weight off the shoulders, and UFO disclosure is pretty much the same thing as in my book. I feel like it's something that needs to happen. I'd like to see it happen in my lifetime. Just getting back to the Eagles, there were a lot of people I know throughout my life, uncles, friends, dads of friends, who were always big fans of the Eagles, and they died before that Super Bowl ever happened, and they never got to see it. And and I fear that I'm not going to be around when disclosure happens, when the full disclosure finally comes. It's going to be. I would like to see that. I want to see the government cross that line, and of course, well, we were just talking about this briefing card that was uncovered by the Black Vault that the Black Vault received after filing a FOIA request. That's like a step toward that direction. We're getting so close. I mean, but so yeah, it's not really anger. It might come off like that. I'm just passionate about it, and I am frustrated sometimes with the way science, particularly a lot of scientists, I feel like either they're just completely dense, or they're they know what's going on, and they're just going along with the cover up. That's just my feeling. I received a comment recently about because I've been filming these videos, podcasts in my kitchen. Okay, I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now, and somebody named Parker on YouTube commented, said it looks like you shot this in a community center break room after the AA meeting had cleared out. No, no, no. I'm not an alcoholic, and I don't go to AA meetings. And this isn't a community center. It's my kitchen, man. My kitchen, you know. So it's a funny comment, but inappropriate. Inappropriate. Let's see here. And also on Facebook, somebody gave me a comment here recently. I received a comment on Facebook. I posted a link to one of my recent podcast videos. Uncle Sam is spoon feeding you the ET truth, and somebody commented, somebody named JD commented, as to being spoon fed by some UFO cult's guru. I'm not a part of I'm not a guru of some UFO cult. I'm just some dude out there who has an interest in UFOs. I don't have some cult following out there. You know, I have like about 130 subscribers on YouTube, and I don't know, not that many listens, a couple hundred listens of my podcast on on Anchor. You know, so I'm not running some cult. I'm not walking around in a robe, you know, and showing up at some community center and sending a basket around asking for money or anything like that. I'm just some guy sitting in his kitchen who's interested in UFOs. I'm sorry to report that I'm not spoon feeding. I'm not some guru. I'm not the guru of some UFO cult who's trying to spoon feed the ET truth to you. No. I'm just expressing my views on this. It's a free country. And I'm just expressing my thoughts on this subject. I know after all the stuff, all the research, my personal experiences, I know for a fact that there are extraterrestrials coming to this planet. They are here. I don't know how many different species are here. I know that the government has to know about this. I know that Roswell was covered up. I know that there was a crash there, a UFO a device, a flying machine from some other planet crashed there. There were just too many witnesses. There's just so much that I've researched all of these things, and I could tell you, I'm not trying to buffalo anybody here, or I'm just pointing out facts that are, that a lot of people just don't realize that are actually facts. So, and Uncle Sam is spoon feeding everyone the ET truth right now. They're slowly disclosing. I mean, with that report and that the Pentagon report that came out in July, that was pretty much the things that have been happening the past few years leading up to that release of the Pentagon report. It shows me that yes, they are spoon feeding the public. They're trying to prepare them for the truth, the reality. That's what's going on. I'm not trying to spoon feed. They're spoon feeding this truth to you. Like a lot of people could sit out there and say, yeah, people could look at me out there and say, you know what? I believe him. I think he's right. I believe in the stuff that he says. I totally agree with just about everything he says. There could be a lot of people out there that are like that. There could be some people out there who listen to the things I say and they were like, you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. And then there's probably some people out there that's like, you know what? That guy's out of his gourd. He's nuts. I don't believe one word he's saying. And that's fine. People could believe what they want to believe, but I'm just pointing out the fact that this is what I see after studying this and keeping abreast of this for most of my life, for a good chunk of my life, since I would say the late 1980s, when I really started, looking into this. After realizing what happened when I was a kid, when that thing, whatever it was in my room, with the three fingers. And I'm not going to get into that again. I talked about that in numerous different other podcasts. But if you've been following me, you know what I'm talking about. So, it took me a long time to realize, oh, that's what it was. There was an alien. Okay, because I didn't know. Start looking into it. In 1994, I saw a UFO on a fishing trip. There was a friend called me up, wanted to go to the night fishing. We saw a UFO. I talked about that, and there was another incident when I was in Hawaii that I can't explain. But in addition to the events, the personal things that happened have been witness to, that I've experienced, in addition to reading numerous books on the subject, watching numerous documentaries. I've actually interviewed different people. When I was a newspaper reporter over the years, I've interviewed Stanton Friedman. I talked to Jesse Marcel Jr. on the phone when he was still there. Both of these gentlemen are now deceased. But I've done my own research on this, and it's real. It's really happening, and our government, for whatever reason, there could be multiple reasons, they've been maintaining a cover up for years. And I'm not like I said, I'm not sitting here like some guru. I'm not a guru. I'm not a UFO. I'm not a part of a cult. UFOs. There is no such. That's another thing that I do get upset with this. When you hear people talk about UFO believers that they're part of a cult, it's not a cult. This is not a cult. This isn't Jim Jones, right? This is things. I've had these experiences. They were real, right? And then those experiences helped prod me into trying to understand what it was all about. Now there's other people. Stanton Friedman, when he was alive, he would have told you that he never had any experiences, but he was fascinated by the reports. When he looked into it, he began to realize that, yeah, there's something going on here. There's a cover up. This is real. So, but yeah, I haven't really received a lot of messages from people, but there's I've been receiving some things, and I welcome it. If anybody has any suggestions, serious suggestions, I'm sure there's going to be some people out there going to send nasty stuff. I got some nasty things here and there from different people on this. I mean, there's things I've posted on Reddit that got, I got lambasted for, and it's hard to even look at it, because you don't, the truth of the matter is, when you're on the internet, a lot of people are mean to you, and that's just the internet for you. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to deal with it.